Wow. So our girl, Sophie Cunningham, has got herself a shoe. Her Adidas shoe drops on July 24th, and it's 120 bones right there. Oh, that's a nice little pink job. Fever Star is releasing their first sneaker PE colorway of the Adidas Crazy Energy. Well, I tell you what's got crazy energy.
Sophie Cunningham just got her own signature shoe, and the reaction tells you everything you need to know about where the WNBA actually is right now.
Really? Highlighted it. This guy just said, "You dumb fuck." I mean, gotta be the worst player in history to get a shoe. That's not hate. Oh, okay. Okay. She has to be the worst player in all of sports history to get a PE. This is so funny.
Let's put some numbers on this. Sophie Cunningham averages 8.8 points per game for her career. She's a role player on the Phoenix Mercury. And Adidas just gave her a signature colorway dropping July 24th at $120. The old guard WNBA fanbase lost their minds immediately. The word privilege started trending within hours. But here's what nobody screaming about stats wants to talk about. Sophie Cunningham was the #1 trending female athlete on Google in 2023. Not Angel Reese, not Asia Wilson, Sophie Cunningham. Before the viral meme that took over the internet for 10 straight days, she was already the most searched.
Why would Adidas, this the worst player, get a shoe? You can't even speak English. These people aren't even speaking English. I mean, it's all about popularity. There seems to be a lot of racist people upset that a white girl is getting her own shoe. There's a lot of people mad. A lot of people mad. This is privilege they talk about because there ain't no way this role player got a shoe and being called a star. Yeah.
That's the actual quote. This has to be the worst player in history to get a shoe. And that sentiment is everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, the replies under every single post about this release. The anger isn't even subtle anymore. It's not about basketball performance. It's about who gets rewarded in a league that spent decades invisible and is now having an identity crisis about why people are finally watching.
Quote, star averages 8 points per game for her career. Wrap this shit up. The shoes are very mid. I can't compete with other WNBA shoes out there. Quote, star, bruh. She got a season average of 9 points. Oh, they're mad. And to be real, I'm just going to be real. It's yeah. Yeah. A lot of racists. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of hate because of her skin color.
Here's the business reality that's making people uncomfortable. Adidas doesn't care about your per-game averages. They care about search traffic, social media engagement, and who can move product. Sophie Cunningham has something most WNBA players don't. She's got pull outside the basketball bubble. She trends, she goes viral, she has crossover appeal in a league that has been trying to find crossover appeal for 27 years. And yeah, being attractive and blonde is part of that equation. That's not privilege, that's market value. It's the same reason Nike gave Zion Williamson a signature shoe before he played a single NBA game. It's the same reason brands pay athletes who never win championships. Popularity sells, performance is just one variable.
It's funny. Of course the Nazis would. Oh, they're mad. They're mad. These shoes are ugly as F, just like her and her stats. It's hilarious seeing people trying to act like Sophie Cunningham don't look good. I mean, Adidas has been trash, so this checks out.
The accusations are flying, and some of them aren't even coded anymore. They're not even hiding it. This is what privilege looks like. F Adidas and F all you Trumpies. The shoe became a culture war flashpoint in about 6 hours, but let's actually look at the WNBA shoe landscape. Sabrina Ionescu has a signature line with Nike. Breanna Stewart has one. Aja Wilson has one. Angel Reese just signed a deal. Caitlin Clark has a signature shoe dropping this year. All of them are top-tier players putting up all-star numbers. Sophie Cunningham is the first role player to get her own colorway, and that's exactly why this is interesting. It's a test case. Can popularity alone justify a signature release in women's basketball?
Paying up for these tickets any longer. Wow, that seems so cheap. College arenas were demanding more than that to get in to see Caitlin Clark and selling out. You guys need a better marketing team. How do you go from Caitlin Clark selling out every game at home and on the road to having empty seats at home is shocking. Your management team is failing. What a joke this team is. Where the F are your priorities? Protect Caitlin Clark and play her for 4 quarters.
Now let's talk about the Indiana Fever. Because this is where the Sophie Cunningham shoe controversy connects to a bigger collapse that nobody saw coming. 2 years ago, you couldn't get a Fever ticket for under $78. The lowest available seat was $78. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was supposed to be a gold rush, and for the first half of the season it was. Sellouts at home, sellouts on the road. The Fever were the hottest ticket in women's sports, and then something broke.
Because I gotta tell you, please come to our games. We'll give you a rotten ass old hot dog. Come get some lips and shoe soles and bologna and pig asshole and whatever else we can put in that hot dog. Come poison your family at family night. Please come to games.
That's the Fever's official account begging people to come to games with a free hot dog promotion. Family night. Bring the kids. We'll give you processed meat and a basketball game. This is the team of Caitlin Clark, the player who was supposed to save the WNBA. The player who brought millions of new eyeballs, and they're running hot dog giveaways to fill seats. Check the ticket prices right now for their upcoming home games. You can get in for $8, $9, $10 day of game. The sellout streak is over. The upper bowl is covered with tarps again. The casual fans stopped coming.
All you had to do was play Caitlin Clark's read and react offense, a style that would have brought in the majority of the new fans, and your tickets would have probably been on a waiting list. No thanks, keep your fatty food. The coaches who hate Cece and other players too. DEI team. I would never bring my children to this woke setting with a bunch of DEI hires. Never. Facts matter. Wow. Caitlin fans quit coming, and this team turned into...
The comments under that promotion are brutal, and they're all saying the same thing. You sabotaged Caitlin Clark, so we're sabotaging you. The coaches hate her. This is a DEI team. I would never bring my children to this woke setting. Whether you agree with that language or not, it's the actual sentiment from the fan base that was filling those arenas 6 months ago. They feel betrayed. They feel like the Fever and the WNBA establishment tried to humble Caitlin Clark instead of building around her, and now they're walking away. The Fever had a chance to lock in a new generation of fans, families, casual sports viewers, people who don't care about the WNBA's history or politics. They just wanted to watch the generational talent play fun basketball. And the perception, fair or not, is that the organization chose to protect egos instead of capitalize on the moment.
And, it looks like some tickets have been sold for that Valkyries game, but they're one of the most popular teams in the league. And I looked at the next game, the Storm game. Somebody is coming through and buying packages of tickets. I believe, my theory is on behalf of the team. They've got some local businesses buying a bunch of tickets, and it's inflating ticket sales. That is my gut feeling. It happens in sports to teams that are having trouble selling tickets.
Here's the theory that's gaining traction. Local businesses are buying ticket packages in bulk to inflate the sales numbers and save face for the organization. It's not a new strategy. Struggling franchises do this all the time across sports. You work out corporate partnerships, you offer deep discounts to regional sponsors, and suddenly your attendance report looks better than the actual butts in seats. The Fever's next home game against the Storm shows clusters of tickets purchased together, blocks of 6, 8, 10 seats at a time. That's not organic fan buying, that's coordinated. The Valkyries game has better movement because they're one of the league's popular teams, but even that one isn't close to selling out. The demand collapsed, and it collapsed fast.
Caitlin Clark and selling out. You guys need a better marketing team. How do you go from Caitlin Clark selling out every game at home and on the road to having empty seats at home is shocking. Your management team is failing.
How do you go from Caitlin Clark selling out every arena in America to having empty seats at home? The management failed, the coaching staff failed, the league office failed, they had lightning in a bottle, and they couldn't hold it for one full season.
They mad at Sophie. because she's more popular than their star. Keeping it real. Yeah, she's more popular than your favorite player. Y'all, oh, you don't like that? Oh, but she only averages 9 points. It don't matter. It don't matter. She got more swag and more pull than.
Back to Sophie. Because the hate she's getting and the collapse of Fever ticket sales are symptoms of the same disease. The WNBA has two fan bases right now that are at war with each other. The old guard, the people who supported the league when nobody else cared, who know every player's story and every team's history. And the new wave, the Caitlin Clark casuals, the people who started watching in 2024 because the product finally looked fun and accessible. The old guard sees Sophie Cunningham's shoe as an insult, a slap in the face to players who've put in more work, scored more points, won more games. The new fans see it as proof that the league is finally figuring out how to market beyond the bubble, and neither side is fully wrong.
This is privilege they talk about, because there ain't no way this role player got a shoe and being called a star. Yeah, she's literally the second most popular player in the league. Let's just keep it real. We try to, they try to act like Asia's an angel, and no.
Sophie Cunningham is more popular than players who are better than her. That's just a fact. She has more social media pull than most all-stars. She gets more search traffic. She generates more conversation. In the attention economy, that's currency. Adidas is making a bet that her popularity translates to shoe sales. And if I'm being honest, I think she's going to move units. Not because basketball purists are lining up to buy them, because she has a fan base that exists outside of traditional WNBA viewership. That's the whole point.
99, I bet she sells a shit ton of these shoes. I mean, seriously. What the fuck did she do to earn a shoe? They are so mad. They are so mad. They're charging $120 for a role player. I see why Adidas is always coming in last place. I mean, look. In this league,
the racial undertone in a lot of these comments is impossible to ignore. This is white privilege. They're not even hiding it anymore. Of course the Nazis would support this. Some of this is legitimate frustration about who gets opportunities in sports and media. Some of it is just ugly. But here's the part that should bother everyone. If Sophie Cunningham were averaging the same 8 points per game and wasn't white, and she still had the #1 Google search ranking and the viral moments and the social media following, would Adidas still give her a shoe? I think they would. Because the business case is the same. Popularity sells. The problem is we'll never know for sure, because the conversation immediately became about race instead of about market strategy.
F Adidas and F all you Trumpies. I mean, that's funny. That's funny that these people are mad. That shit's ugly as hell. 0 sales. You watch. People gonna buy the shit out of this shoe. They gonna buy the shit out of this shoe.
Let's game this out. The shoe drops July 24th, $120. Adidas Crazy Energy Silhouette, pink and white colorway. If this thing sells out in the first week, it validates everything Adidas believed about her market value. It also validates the idea that the WNBA's future isn't about rewarding the best players, it's about rewarding the most marketable ones. If it flops, if it ends up in the Walmart clearance bin at $19.99 like the haters are predicting, then Adidas misread the room, and this becomes a cautionary tale about hype versus substance. But my money's on the first outcome. She's going to move product. The people angry about this shoe weren't going to buy WNBA merchandise anyway. The people who follow her, who engage with her content, who think she's fun to watch even if she's not an all-star, they'll buy it. And that's enough. Here's what all of this actually reveals. The WNBA is at a crossroads it's never faced before. For the first time in the league's history, there's real money on the table, real attention, real mainstream visibility. And the league has no idea how to manage the tension between honoring the players who built it and capitalizing on the players who can grow it. Caitlin Clark brought millions of new fans. The Fever and the league establishment treated her like a threat instead of an asset. Sophie Cunningham gets a shoe because she's popular, not because she's elite, and half the fan base treats it like a crime. The old model was simple: support the league because it deserves to exist, because representation matters, because these women deserve a platform. The new model is, support the league because it's entertaining, because the players are compelling, because you actually want to watch. Those two models are colliding, and right now, nobody's winning. The Fever could have been the blueprint: build around your star, play to her strengths. Let her run the offense the way she ran it in college, create an entertaining product that keeps casual fans coming back. Instead, they played slow, methodical basketball that appealed to traditionalists and bored everyone else. The result? Hot dog promotions and $8 tickets. Sophie Cunningham could have been celebrated as proof that the league is expanding beyond the hardcore fan base. Instead, she's being called the worst player in history to get a signature shoe. The anger isn't really about her, it's about what she represents, a shift in who gets rewarded and why. So where does this go? If the fever doesn't turn it around, if the casual fans don't come back, the league loses the momentum it spent decades trying to build. If Sophie's shoe sells, it opens the door for more role players with big followings to get deals, and the performance-first crowd is going to lose their minds every single time. The WNBA wanted mainstream attention, they got it. And now they're learning what every other major league already knows. When you go mainstream, you lose control of the narrative. The fans decide who matters, the market decides who gets paid. And sometimes the player averaging 9 points per game ends up with a shoe deal, while the player averaging 20 gets ignored. That's not fair. But it's business. Do you think Sophie Cunningham deserves her own shoe, or is this everything wrong with how the WNBA is being marketed right now? Drop your take in the comments. And if you actually made it this far, hit the like button and subscribe, because we're covering every angle of this league's identity crisis as it unfolds in real time.